Good morning and hello for another installment of wine tutorials for the service staff at Forepaugh. I thought today we would focus on a New World wine region, uh, Argentina, because we have two Argentine wines that we're serving by the glass. So it's kind of important that you're familiar with these wines. Uh, Remember that New World and Old World refers mostly to Europe and the rest of the world, Old World being Europe, the rest of the world being uh, New World. And in most instances in the Old World, the wines are named for the place the grapes are grown. In most instances in the New World, the wines are named for the grape that the wine is made from. Argentina, the wine industry of Argentina was greatly begun by Italians at the end of World War II when quite a few of them needed to leave Italy for obvious reasons, and a large group of Italians immigrated to Argentina at the end of World War II, and they some of them ended up being winery owners or winemakers. The most famous of them and the most influential of them, Nicolas Catena, is really kind of the godfather of high quality wine in Argentina. He envisioned that if he planted grapes in Mendoza, which is in the foothills of the Andes, so very high elevation uh, terroir, that this would be a good place. That the result would be that the wines were better balanced, that there was better balance of acidity and fruit and sugar because of the cool climate. Most of the world thought he was crazy at the time. They didn't believe that the grapes would get ripe because it's so cool in Mendoza. I guess Mr. Catena foresaw the advent of global climate change. It is certainly not an issue getting grapes ripe in Mendoza. The cool climate, bright sunshine, high elevation results in more acidity in the grapes than in the lower elevation parts of Argentina. And so that makes for a better balance in the wines, more interesting wines. One factor is that what water there is comes from channels dug into the hillsides, mountainsides by the Incas, centuries ago. There is very little uh, water. The the Andes Mountains function as a rain shower, kind of like the Cascade Mountains in Washington State. So all the rain falls on the west slopes of the Andes, resulting in Mendoza being a high desert. And that's a good thing because there's no mildew, there's very little disease, and the vines live for a long time. The main white grape of Argentina is called Torrontés. It's a crossing of the Mission grape and Muscat Alexandria. It tastes a lot like Gewürztraminer. It's rich and textured and really full-bodied, and the best examples are really superb wines. And Torrontés pretty much only exists in Argentina. Of course, the main red grape is Malbec, and this was Mr. Catena's genius that he uh, saw the potential of planting Malbec in Mendoza, and that this high elevation, cool climate would result in better balance and more interesting wines. He makes the Catena family makes a very wide variety of wines from, for instance, the Vista Flores Malbec that we serve by the glass at Forepaugh, up to wines that sell for $300, $400, $500 a bottle and are really the equal of any wines in the world. The Catena family is very much overachievers. All three of Nicholas Catena's children have PhDs from Oxford, and Mr. Catena was very much, still is, a champion of women's rights. He gave his daughters equal opportunity to be important in the winery business with his son. And it is now run by his daughter, Laura, who is also an emergency room physician in San Francisco. And during COVID, she donated 2 years of her life to vaccinate homeless people against COVID. That's an enormous financial sacrifice. And it's an enormous amount of responsibility to be an emergency room physician in San Francisco and also be the director of this, by easily the most important winery in South America. Um, the Malbecs of the Catena family are textbook. Uh, they pretty much define the category, and they are the reason that people love Malbec so much. They're medium bodied plus, they're dry, they have red and black fruits, they have some floral character. Generally, at the in the case of the Vista Flores, very soft tannins, very. It's really a crowd pleaser of a red wine. It's just something that's really, really delicious to enjoy. It's not contemplative. It's not, cerebral. It's just a delicious, straightforward crowd pleaser red wine. And certainly at the price point we're selling it for, it's a tremendous value. Now, we also have, lo and behold, it's been discovered in the last 15 years, I guess, that there are parts of Mendoza where the soil is limestone. And limestone is a really great place to grow Pinot Noir. And, well, the best place. Limestone soil is the best soil to grow Pinot Noir in. And of course, cool climate is really good for Pinot Noir. And bright sunshine combined with cool climate is really great for Pinot Noir. So we have the Domaine Nico Pinot Noir Grand Père. It's made by the Catena family. It is a homage to Nicolas, therefore Nico, Domaine Nico. And the Grand Père is the French word for grandfather. So it's an homage to Senor Catena. It is, the label looks almost exactly, it's probably as close as you can get to without copyright infringement to the label of one of the most famous Pinot Noirs in Burgundy, La Tâche. The labels look a lot like the La Tâche label from Burgundy, and that is their model. Their intent is that their Pinot Noir, both the Grand Père and the Grand Mère, are very Burgundian in style, and they are. I'm not saying that the Domaine Nico Pinot Noir tastes like La Tâche. It doesn't, but it tastes more like an old world or Burgundian Pinot Noir than you would expect a Pinot Noir from Argentina to taste. It's extraordinary. It's kind of pretty full-bodied, actually, for Pinot Noir. It's got a huge mouthful. One of the tells of really high-quality Pinot Noir in the world is a phenomenon called peacock's tail, where the flavor of the wine opens up like an excited peacock's tail in your mouth. And this wine certainly has that. It's loaded with red fruits, loaded with flowers, tremendous minerality from that limestone soil, which is a really good thing. It's a really, really extraordinary wine. I'm excited to offer it to our guests by the glass at a reasonable price. We got a very good price from the vendor as a result of committing to a certain number of cases, and it's not inexpensive. I know it's $24 a glass, but it is worth every penny. The Domaine Nico Grand Père, and the Grand Père is a little more masculine in style, obviously, than the Grand Mère, which is a little more feminine style. But there's similar wines, just different nuances. And then the other part of Argentina from which we have Pinot Noir is Patagonia. Patagonia is the southernmost part of Argentina. It is also high elevation, so cool climate. They say you can almost see Antarctica from Patagonia. That's kind of an exaggeration, but it is it is the southernmost part of Argentina, and it is very cool there, which again is a good thing for the cultivation of Pinot Noir. Bodega Chacra is owned by the owner of one of the well, perhaps the most important winery in Tuscany, which is called Sassicaia. He was at a wine tasting in New York City several years ago, and he tasted a Patagonian Pinot Noir, and he decided he was so impressed by it that he decided he wanted to make Patagonian Pinot Noir too. So he started this winery called Bodega Chacra. The Chacra, he believes that wine is a connection between man and God. Um, I don't disagree with him about that. I think it is. I also think it is. Um, and so he named his winery Chacra, which is a reference to the chakras in the body. It's also a Patagonian uh, word for a small plot of land. So it has two meanings, both the points in your body and the plot of land. And this wine hypothetically tastes like New World Pinot Noir made by a really, really great Italian winemaking team. It is an extraordinary wine, and unique, very unique. And um, so it's surprise, lo and behold, surprise, surprise, there's really great Pinot Noir, really, really great Pinot Noir in Argentina, not just Malbec and Torrontés. There's also great Cabernet, the Catenas. The Catenas aren't the only people in Argentina that make great wine. There's a winery called Familia Zuccardi who makes really extraordinary wines that get enormous scores from all the pundits. There's a winery called Trevento. Um, there are quite a few wineries that make really great wine, but Catena is just kind of the 900-pound gorilla. Catena Zapata is the actual title of the winery. Um, so that's a little overview on the Argentine wines that we serve by the bottle or the glass at Forepaugh. And I hope you watch this or listen to it, and as a result, are a little bit more prepared to talk to our guests about the Argentine wines we carry. Thank you very much. I will see you Tuesday, and I hope you had a great weekend.